Clap on. Clap off. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Dr. Pepper limited edition creamy coconut. It's going to be a No Fire podcast taste test here. Here we go. One sip. Everybody knows the rules. Oh, God. That's incredible.
I'm
wow.
nervous.
Oh, my God. Limited edition. I'm going to have to go buy out the stock of Walmart. That is awesome.
I like that.
So good. If you're a fan of coconut and you like Dr. Pepper, which most people do, this is something to definitely try.
100%.
I mean, this is actually really good. Anyways, thanks for tuning back into episode 15 of the No Fire podcast. I'm excited to be here. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. We've got coconut Dr. Pepper out. Mercury's out of retrograde. 2024 is in full swing. So
Yeah.
we're happy to be here. Happy to be spending time with each other on another wonderful Thursday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a couple things prepared for us to talk about, and I pulled a couple things from season 6 of The Circle as well. While we were just watching an episode, I was like, oh, maybe this would be fun to talk about. So I came up with a couple would you rather questions for us to talk about. So I wrote them down here. So okay, so the first one was one from The Circle. It's, would you rather fight one bear or 500 chickens?
500 chickens.
I agree with that. Even
Bear
small
will-
bears.
Yeah.
It-
No.
And it's not going to be it's going to be a slow death. It's not going to be quick.
Yeah.
It's just going to be mauling you.
Yeah.
And it's gonna
That's
be,
exactly what I envision. No, thank you.
I mean, I think 500 chickens, like if you were to die during that,
That'd be terrible too.
it would be terrible too. They just probably be pecking your eyes out while you're still alive. But I don't know. Bears are just much more scary in my opinion.
Yeah.
And at least I could take some chickens down with me.
Yeah, for real.
I'm not taking down a bear.
There is no way.
Yeah. All right. So next one is, would you rather get your phone photos leaked or your Google searches leaked?
Google searches.
Same.
Yeah.
Like my searches might be weird, but it's like, I mean, that's
some
way
off
better
the
than
wall searches, don't get me wrong.
it's better than getting your pictures leaked.
Yeah.
I don't want that out there.
Uncomfortable.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even think I really have that many bad pictures.
Neither
but I might
do I.
have pictures of you. in
Yeah.
my phone.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So I wouldn't want those getting leaked.
Yeah. Fair enough. Me either. I don't want your phone or my phone getting leaked. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. No sex for a year or no social media for a year.
Social media all day. No.
Getting rid of the social media.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yes, I agree with that. No social media for a year as well.
I feel like we'd be like ready to gouge each other's eyes out if we couldn't have sex for a year.
I mean, I think we could do it, but
I don't know. I feel like I'd be able to
wouldn't
last longer
want
than
to.
you would,
probably.
but I feel like it'd be a very difficult task.
It'd be a rough year. There would be weeks of angst, I'm sure.
I feel like that would cause unnecessary arguments. I just feel like that's a terrible idea.
I don't think it would cause arguments. I just think it'd be like, I don't know. There's no world where like those two options are a thing, but for the sake of conversation, you have to pick one, and it's no social media for me.
Yeah, same.
Next, this one is not from the Circle TV show. This is a couple that I found on the internet. Would you rather spend a week in the woods with no tent or spend 24 hours in a real haunted house? That's a tough one, right?
Honestly, though, like, paranormal shit scares the fucking life out of me.
I think it might actually scar me for life if I were to have something like paranormal happen to me.
I also think so. I don't while I believe in the spiritual world, I don't go looking for things that are to be haunted. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. That's why I don't, because I believe. Like, I'm not beat for that. Woods, no tent, all day. Yes.
I think it would be incredibly rough to be like spending a week in the woods with no tent.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you have some type of gear. Like, you're not gonna starve out there. I don't think that's the scenario. Yeah. So like, yeah, you'd probably be struggling on like a protein bar or two a day or something, and like very little water, but you'd survive, and it'd be rough, but you'd come out stronger on something like that. You go into a haunted house, every time I turn off the lights in my own home, like, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And now I can't live a normal life. I think that would set my schizophrenia off.
Stop.
I have that gene in my body. It would just snap.
You don't even know.
And I'd be like, it's demons in my head.
That's why it's important to make sure you see doctors.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're both on board with struggling out in the woods.
Yeah.
As opposed to being haunted for the rest of your life. All right. Next up. That's it. That's all we got.
What about the last one that they said on the circle?
Oh, yeah. I don't have a good answer for that one. Okay. So the question is, would you rather have your parents find your sex tape, or would you rather find your parents' sex tape? Assuming that you would have to, either they would have to watch yours or you would have to watch theirs.
Correct.
In this scenario. Both are horrible options.
Yeah.
There's no good like picking, but is it selfish to say that you would rather have them find it so that you wouldn't have to deal with the mental trauma of watching that?
I'd rather have the mental trauma than give them the mental trauma, honestly.
Yeah. Is that how you feel about it?
That is how I feel about it, but maybe that's because I'm such like an empath.
I mean, honestly, I might too. Just to not have to deal with any like recourse of awkwardness. Like, I would have to deal with the awkward as opposed to like having to deal with like, you know, the reverse of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be with you. Even though I wouldn't want to have to deal with it.
No.
That might be the side that I'm on as well. Yeah, that would be kind of rough. So, oh, Jesus Christ. I did want to talk about, I don't know what triggered this memory. But when we first moved in together, we used this company called Rently to go look at houses. And it's really cool. They would have a little keypad on the door. You would be able to sign up for it. And instead of just looking at pictures online and then saying, okay, I'll rent this house, or setting up an appointment with a realtor, you could go to the house and use your phone to punch in a code that would give you a one-time like access into the home. And you could go and actually look at it for yourself. You wouldn't have to deal with anybody else, which is right up my alley because I don't want to deal with anybody and I don't want to sign a lease for something that I haven't seen in person.
Yeah.
So Rently was super cool. And so we're looking online and we end up finding this house, and it looks really good in the pictures, and we go look at it in person, and we really like it in person too. And so we put down a deposit for the house. I think first month security deposit, pet
first last security, and then the pet deposits.
Yeah. And we're laying in bed, I think a week before our move-in date.
It was a Friday.
And I can't remember if I was awake or not, or you woke me up like as you're getting a phone call, or we woke up and you had a missed call.
I got the phone call and it woke me up.
You answered it?
Mm-hmm.
What did they say?
They said, Miss Bryant, we were giving you a call because you weren't supposed to be moving in until Monday, the whatever. And I'm like, we're not moving in. I'm laying in bed right now. I don't remember where the conversation went from there, but he said that he would get to the bottom of it and that he was going to call me back. And then when they called me back, they told me that we had somebody had moved into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a woman, her mother, and her 3 children.
How did they get all this information? Was there somebody, like a maintenance guy, going to work on the house or something?
The family was there. They were moving in.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if, I'm not sure what was the, like, how the rental company was contacted. That's where I'm, like, confused. Like, how did they know that they were moving in that day?
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that a maintenance guy was sent to the house to do something.
Oh, yeah, you're probably
and
right.
he, like, finds these people moving into the house.
Yeah, that's probably right. And they end up finding out that the lady also paid a first, last, and security, and she and her entire family moved there, and it was a scam.
Yeah, so on some of these houses, it would have like an automatic lock that you could punch the code in and it would unlock the actual door.
Mm-hmm.
And some had a keypad that you would punch in and it would have like this electronic door that would move up and there'd be like a set of keys in there that you could use.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd have to confirm that you put the keys back in there and then end your like virtual tour of the house when you went and physically looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody made a Craigslist post
Yes.
with all the information, stole one of the keys out of the box,
Mm-hmm.
probably made a copy, and then rented out this house to the unknowing people that moved in there.
Yeah, and they were out of all of their money,
Mm-hmm.
and they told them they, like, I don't know, I think the people were like initially like refusing to leave. So they said
Yeah.
that they had to serve them with like an eviction, and it was
Mhm.
going to take 30 days, and we had to be out of our place in like a couple of days, so we didn't have that time.
Yeah.
So that put us into a panic to go find a new house.
Yeah. And I mean, we continues to use Rently just because even in that pinch, like it was still the most time
Convenient,
effective and
yeah.
convenient thing to use so that we could actually go look at houses like right then and there.
Especially with our schedules being the way that it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, we ended up finding another house within the time frame, but
Yeah.
it wasn't as big. It wasn't as nice. It was
Nowhere
in a
near
different
as nice.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what made me think of that, but yeah, scammers are everywhere.
Unfortunately.
And they'll get you good. I mean, I'm sure the dude wrote up a lease agreement and literally handed them a physical key to the house that unlocked the door. So, I mean,
Those poor people, there was nothing that they could do. There's nobody to like complain against to get the money back because the person was
yeah.
MIA after that.
And squatters, I mean,
Squatters' rights.
squatters' rights. I think you have to be getting mail to the house for
I
you to have
think-
like squatters' rights, though.
I think it's different when you like the way that she was like scammed and how to go about that whole situation, because she had like a lease.
yeah.
She didn't realize that she was in the wrong. Squatters realize that they're in the wrong.
Yeah, but the fact that she wouldn't leave is, I mean, I get that she was out of money, but like she got scammed.
But like, where do you go if you have no money, 3 kids, and your mother?
Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing really for you to do.
Go
in
to
that
a motel
situation.
and waste more money. Like
Yeah.
you just paid that month's rent. Like,
Yeah, you're screwed.
that's just terrible.
Yeah,
And I felt
shitty
so
situation.
bad for that lady for
Yeah.
so long.
I remember that day we like went and drove by the house to like see if we could tell what was going on.
Yeah.
Because at the point when we drove by, we didn't know whether we were like they were gonna leave or what the case was.
Yeah.
Still kind of all up in the air, and we were just trying to get more information. But yeah, we got scammed out of a house, in a good way though, because we didn't lose any money.
Yeah.
In a bad way, because we didn't get the house we wanted. But oh well, we're in a house that we like now, so that's all that really matters.
Yeah. I'd like it more if I had a patio.
Yeah.
I just want a patio. Kind of want a pool too, but
We'll get to the pool thing when we're looking to buy a house. We'll weigh the pros and the cons.
pro, sappy.
That'll be a big pro.
Indeed.
So I came across a TikTok of this guy talking about a moral situation. And it was posed as a question. I don't know if it's something that came from like a Reddit post or whatever the case was, but I'm going to pose the question to you and see how you react to it, and we can kind of talk it over and see how we feel about the entire situation. So here's the scenario. The person says, "Is it wrong that my boyfriend said he would save his cat over a drowning human?" So in this scenario, his cat is drowning and next to him is a human drowning, and he can either choose to save the cat or the human.
Is it wrong that he wants to save it?
Is it wrong? And I'll preface this by saying the guy on TikTok stated that, the person has memories and a family and yada yada, and it would be wrong to save your animal over the human. That's what the guy, whether he's like a therapist or some moral figure of some sort. What are your feelings on this situation?
I mean, I do feel like morally it's probably wrong to save a pet over a human.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm not sure that I would do something different if it were my dog.
So we're assuming that this person is a complete stranger. And here's the thing. We work in an industry where it reinforces the loss of humanity on a daily basis, getting treated like shit and people just, I don't know, being assholes and
Every day, all day.
being not deserved of being saved. So I guess my stance is, obviously I would think it would be morally correct to save the human. But if I was put in the situation, what would I really do? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I grabbed them both and I drowned trying to save them, and then all three of us drowned. I don't know what I would do. And obviously this has to be like a specific type of scenario where nobody else is around, nobody else can help, and you're seeing, your animal and this person drowned, and it's like, yeah, that person may have a family, but he could also be a rapist, or he could be somebody that, is a dick all the time. Ugh. Or somebody who doesn't know how to push their cart in a fucking grocery store.
Oh my God, stop.
Like, here's the scenario I put in my head. We're at Costco shopping. Guy's acting like an asshole with his cart, cuts us off a couple times. I fucking hate that guy. A week goes by and I'm in this scenario where my dog is drowning and that guy's drowning. That fucker's drowning. I'll push him under. Nobody's around.
Honey, it's
a dark piece.
Yeah.
It's a dark piece.
Mm-hmm. To say the least.
I have faith in certain people, but I feel like off the most brief scenarios, I can be like, oh, that person is like a good person, or that person's a shitty person. I feel like interactions with people can say a lot.
I agree, they can.
But yeah, morally, I think you should save the person. In reality, honestly, I don't have an answer. I don't know what I would do.
I don't know what I would do either. No, I want to say I would save the person, but like I said, if it's my pet, I don't know.
If it's a random pet, I'll save the person.
Agreed.
If it's the cat, I'm saving the person. If it's my dog, yikes.
Oh God, wrong.
I'm wrong for that.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. I am wrong for that, but
Kit Kat's a bitch, but I would still save her.
Over the human?
Probably. I mean, it depends. If Kit Kat's like on her way out, maybe I wouldn't. But say if Kit Kat was like, oh no, let me not even speak that into existence.
If it's a child, I'm saving the child.
100%. They haven't had long enough to be assholes.
No, I in all honesty, at the end of the day, I probably would save the human. But it's hard to say without being in the situation.
Agreed.
Because I don't know. I'd probably save the human. I don't know but fuck. I'm like, I don't know if I could live with myself after letting a human drown. How am I going to feel about coming home to no dog?
Yeah. That's going to be a sad day when that happens.
Yeah, either way it's rough. All right. Well, very conclusive there. We'll go ahead and jump on to the next thing. I have something fun planned for us in a little bit, but we'll go ahead and jump into the relationship corner of the podcast. If you guys have never seen our podcast before, we do something called the Relationship Corner, where we talk about anything and everything relationship related, whether it's relationship advice, relationship scenarios, and then we kind of break it down. We talk about our feelings, our opinions, and our thoughts on the matter. So let's go ahead and jump into it. What we have today is a question. How would you feel if you found out your partner made a pros and cons list about you?
I feel like I'm crazy and that it's probably valid.
I would almost be a little proud. Obviously, I'm applying this scenario to us. And I would be like, wow, she was able to, like, you know, break down and make like a pros and cons list and like make sure that it's the right thing for her life. And
Do you think that, okay, you're saying like for the relationship as a whole, like I'm making a pros and cons list on like being with you or not being with you?
I mean, I guess yes and no. Like, you're making a pros and cons list of like, these are the pros of being with this person, this is the cons of being with this person, whether that's like making you come to an ultimatum or a decision of whether I want to be with them or not, or whether it's maybe I need to come to them with this cons list and be like, hey, are these some things that we can work on and we can change about the relationship?
Okay, that's fair. I mean, if you wrote a pros and cons list about me, I just don't think I want to know what's on it.
I wouldn't want to find it either. Even if you made one, I wouldn't want to find it. But in
I
this
just
scenario,
want you to know that I'm not like, when it comes to my emotions, I am very, like, I don't want to say impulsive, but like I feel like I'm impulsive when it comes to my
your thoughts are driven by how you feel emotionally, which everybody is, but some people lean more emotional, some people lean more, you know, like logical.
Yeah, sometimes it depends. But when it comes to like somebody that I want to be with or somebody that I'm interested in, like for me, it's either like a yay or an nay. Like, I wouldn't as a person need to have to do a pros and cons list. Like, I feel like that would be something I would do with you when it comes to like buying a house or buying an RV. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. Not necessarily for our relationship, because like I said, I'm a yay or a nay. Like, we started dating and I was like, that's it. That's it. The one.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done deal.
Yeah.
I think I would initially feel emotionally hurt by it.
Yeah, I think
obviously
you would.
I'm assuming there would be like cons on the list that I would be insecure about, or maybe, you know, that would make me feel like I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
But I guess I would need to read the list to really see whether it's
Oh, it's not a question. If I find it, I'm reading it.
Well, yeah, I agree. And like I think upon reading the list is gonna determine my reaction. Obviously, I would try and do it in a manner so that you felt like you could kind of explain yourself a little bit, because it would definitely catch me off guard. I'd be like, do you feel like you needed to make this list to like make sure that it was the right decision for you? Because I don't feel like that, and I know that you don't feel like that. I wouldn't feel the need to make one, but if I did find one, I feel like it could potentially cause some problems.
Agreed.
But ultimately, it wouldn't be like a relationship ender for me.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind if I find one.
Depending on what it said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw a post on Reddit that said that somebody found that their girlfriend of 8 months, so
still pretty new.
Like, he found her pros and cons list of him.
That's probably
like, fuck, that's hard.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it highlighted a lot of good things and not a lot of negative things, and she was like, yep, this is a good relationship to be in.
Yeah.
But maybe it wasn't the case, because if you're making a pros and cons list, obviously there's some things that are bothering you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that would be tough to find for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, like I said, ultimately it wouldn't end the relationship. I just think that it would be something that would definitely need to be discussed for sure, and talked about, gone over, and ultimately come to a decision.
Agreed. Reassess some things after that.
Yeah, this is wow. in awe. This is delicious. 0 calories, by the way. Delicious flavor. 0 calories. Can't get over it. Yeah, so now that Mercury is no longer in retrograde, tomorrow is going to be an incredibly successful day.
Mm-hmm.
Today's been pretty productive. We're getting things knocked out, doing chores around the house. I'm knocking work stuff out. We're filming the podcast. We're starting off this non-retrograde era in a
Positive light.
and we're going to keep that rolling as long as we can.
Yeah.
Positivity.
Had a nice workout today.
Yeah.
Got a good amount of steps in.
I think I'm taking the day off of working out.
Yeah. You know what? You deserve it.
I
I
worked
needed
out like
to work out.
6 days in a row. I need a break.
Yeah. I needed to get myself. I finally like felt good enough. Like I felt like sick the last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
I did drink last night, and it's ironic that I feel good today.
I know, right?
Weird. And we had a good amount of tequila last night.
It's the first time we've had alcohol in a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I had that one margarita in between.
I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago. But anyways, yeah, we don't drink alcohol. We had one night of alcohol. We both woke up feeling fine. I felt fine.
We didn't mix with any sugars or anything like that, so
And
it
we
probably
ate
helped. And
when
we
we
ate
had the
while we
drinks.
drank, yeah.
Yeah.
We played it safe.
It kickstarted this positive attitude, kind of releasing the negative energy, releasing all that stress and anxiety that's been weighing down on us for however long. And yeah, just got us started fresh.
Yeah. I ran some errands this morning, went to the bank. I went and got dog food, got myself a coffee. Then we went grocery shopping.
Yeah.
We've had a day.
So I have contact with this seller for products that I get shipped in. So that
Again?
yeah. So I have contact with this seller. I get these products shipped in, and they email me frequently. And there was a period of time where they weren't emailing me at all. And I was like, oh, maybe I lost contact with them. But I wasn't that upset about it because I wasn't making money off of the products that they were shipping me. I was making more money off of products that I sourced myself and filmed. So I got an email yesterday, and it's like, hey, have you been busy? I feel like you haven't replied in forever. And I'm like, I literally emailed you yesterday. You sent me a product this week, and I've sent this week I've sent 3 emails, and we only maybe email like twice a week. So we've had more contact than normal, and they're asking me to send an original copy of a video to them for a product that they're going to custom make for me. And here's the thing. I'm not getting paid like a flat fee. I make commissions on sales. So me sending you the video is me doing this work for free.
Yeah.
I said, sorry, I'm not interested. It doesn't make sense to me. And obviously there's a language barrier, but there's also common sense involved. And why would I do something for free if it's going to result in me not getting paid at all?
I agree with that.
It just makes no sense. And maybe there's someone that they're also sending the exact same email to that they can take advantage of and get them to do that. But unless I want the product that you're offering to me, I'm not going to accept it because it has no value of commissions being sold because the products are smaller sellers that don't get as many sales, and it's not worth my time to spend hours making a video for no money.
Yeah.
But if it's something that's, $50 to $100 and it's something that I actually want, then that monetary value of the item is worth it to me to do the video.
Yeah, I agree.
So now I have a hedge trimmer.
And it looks very nice.
Actually works pretty good too. It's not quite as strong as I want it to be, but it's still nice to have.
It's going to be nice too because we have 2 batteries.
Yeah. It just uses a little DeWalt battery. You plug that bad boy in. Start trimming some hedges.
Trimming some hedges.
Hedging some trims is what I was going to say.
Same difference.
But yeah, I just a little weird interaction, but I was like, yeah, no, sorry, not interested.
No, thank you.
You can send those vibes somewhere else. Not for me.
Not here, buddy.
So I was looking up something that we could have like a kind of an off the wall conversation about. So I was looking up weird history facts. So I screenshotted a couple, and I'll read them out and see if they, if any of them are a little interesting to you. Okay, so here's the first one. In ancient Rome, families were dominated by men. In fact, fathers had the legal right to sell, disown, or even kill his family members. So in ancient Rome, men could just pretty much do whatever they wanted. And if you were a father, you had the legal right to sell or disown your family members, or kill them if you wanted to.
Sell by trade.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Yeah.
Sick as well.
I mean, yeah, that's a dark piece. Next one. When Israel was formed, Albert Einstein was offered the presidency, but he declined. It's kind of weird for a presidency to be offered if you're not like a native to the area.
Oh.
Right?
Sorry. I don't know.
Like, if a newly formed country in, I don't know, South Africa was like, hey, we want you to be our president. It'd be weird, right?
That would be strange.
Wouldn't you want a native of the area?
You would think so. Or maybe you want somebody not native so they can have like a
more impartial view of it?
Yeah.
Maybe, and maybe they just wanted Albert Einstein because he was a genius for the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Next up. Henry VIII of England hired 4 men who regularly checked his feces, monitored his bowel movements, and wiped his bottom. They were appropriately called grooms of the king's stool. And all of them were eventually knighted.
That's disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. But what's funny is that, like, your stool can be revealing of, like, maybe, like, illnesses and things that you have. And I would assume that that was the reason for that.
Yeah.
But just to have the whole group be called the grooms of the king's stool. Interesting facts here at the No Fire Podcast. Next up, we have, since 1945, all British tanks have been equipped with tea-making equipment and facilities.
How convenient.
Like, what? I'm sorry, what?
Let's have tea wherever we go.
I mean, you would want something that could potentially filter water.
Yeah.
But to have a tea station in a tank?
They don't mess around about their tea.
I guess not. Hey, you still got to have a tea break when you're, out there fighting the good fight.
Yeah. Shooting cannons out of tanks.
All right. Next up. Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini have all been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. So just these terrible rulers have all been nominated. So I did a little research on the Hitler one, and it was not really a nomination for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia, it was more of, I want to say a joke, but obviously it's like, that's not a good joke.
Not a very funny joke.
But yeah, not like a legitimate nomination where he was, expected to receive it or anything. Yeah. But yeah, still kind of like, okay, that's
still strange.
a little weird. Yeah. Next weird thing. One of the most feared, successful, and respected pirates in all of history was actually a Chinese prostitute named Qing Shi. She commanded a fleet of more than 1,500 ships and 80,000 sailors.
Wow.
Yeah, that's big. That's real big.
You said she.
Yeah. A Chinese prostitute.
Oh, Chinese prostitute.
Yeah.
Why did I think you said Chinese pirate?
I mean, she was a pirate. She was one of the most respected in all of history. They should make a show on that.
That would be
But maybe there is a show and we just don't know about it. Yeah. Yeah, interesting history stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff
interesting fun facts.
Yeah. yeah, we're gonna keep this one brief and upbeat, and I think we'll call the show here. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. This is episode 15. 15 episodes in.
15.
Yeah, we're gonna keep grinding away. We're gonna keep this positive attitude flowing, and we will see you guys next Thursday. If you want to watch the video format, check us out on YouTube at No Fire Podcast, or if you want to watch the audio format, check us out on Spotify at No Fire Podcast, or TikTok or Instagram. TikTok, we're No Fire Podcast. Instagram, No Fire Pod, where we post short little clips, maybe some pictures, behind the scenes, fun stuff.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Check us out. We'll see you guys next week.